Hey everyone, welcome to Cross the Ditch and See. My name is Laura and I'm so glad you're here today. Just like every day when I get home from work, I come outside and I start working in the garden for a few minutes. Posted a video about that a few weeks ago about how you can garden in 30 minutes a day. Super easy to do, just takes a little bit of a commitment, pre-planning. So if you're curious, go back and watch that. But like I was saying, every day when I get home from work, I come out to the garden, most days, and try to do a little something just to make progress so I won't have so much to do on the weekends. And just like almost every day, I forget to pick up my camera and bring it with me. So I was out here harvesting carrots, harvesting a few things to have for a salad tonight, and I wanted to bring you with you, but I gotta show you this real quick. This little dude scared the mess out of me when I came outside. Little bunny rabbit. All right, so back to our originally scheduled programming. So I wanted to grab the camera. Said, let me grab the camera, come bring you guys outside, and do a quick little garden update. It's been about a week or so since maybe a week and a half since the last video was filmed. A quick little garden update where I was planting out my peppers and flowers. So I wanted to show you the progress. We've had one good rainstorm since then, and I've been watering with a water hose also during that time. So I wanted to show you the garden growth. And as you can see behind me, hanging on the clothesline, I got my, I utilized the rain, I guess you could say, to wash off my row covers that were caked in dirt, and I have them hanging up to dry. But let me show you the garden, and we will do a little carrot harvest while we're out here. So I guess we will start right here. So here are my squash and zucchini, and I said it last year, I said I would be better about sketching and labeling everything in my garden, and I have done a very poor job of it. Thankfully, thanks to filming these videos, I can go back and re-watch and do a quick garden sketch to remember exactly what I had planted everywhere. And yeah, I can tell a big difference between my squash and zucchini and my ground cherries, but when it goes to the pepper bed, there's like 3 different types of peppers planted in just that bed alone, and I can't remember which is where, so I'll use my videos to write it down. But that is going to be my tip for you today, is if you are planting out, be sure to draw a little sketch of your garden and sketch what you have planted where. That way you can keep up with it as it grows and progresses. All right, garden tour. So here we have little sunflowers growing, my kohlrabi growing right here. We've had some cooler weather right here recently, so I'm hoping maybe it'll give my cabbage and my kohlrabi and the cauliflower that I planted out a little on the late side. I hope it gives it a chance. We'll see. Squash and zucchini are doing well. This one over here has something funky going on with it. I know the leaves are getting eaten, but it looks sick, and it looks like it's getting some powdery mildew, so I might just go ahead and pull this guy and then just go ahead and treat some of these others. Yeah, I feel like that's what I'm going to do. So I'll show you how I do that. I had a lot of success treating the powdery mildew naturally last year, so I'll show you how to do that in a future video. But we have lots of little buds on these guys. When I transplanted my squash and zucchini out, for like that first week, I pulled all the flower blossoms off of them. That way they could focus their energy into growing roots instead of fruit. So now that it's been a week, or a little over a week now, maybe 2 weeks, week and a half, something. Anyway, I'm gonna let those flower out, and they're still growing. These guys really exploded after the rain shower we had. My eggplant, a little on the struggle bus. They've got some pest damage. I'm going to get those treated with some neem oil and keep an eye on them, give them a drink of fertilizer, and see if we can bring them back to life a little bit. Ground cherries are doing really well, growing really fast, as well as my cabbage. My goodness, sorry y'all. Fun fact, when it comes to allergies, not much bothers me outside, except for honeysuckle. When honeysuckle blooms, I sneeze a lot, and I love honeysuckle and I love the smell of it, but it makes me sneeze so much. So sorry about that, but the honeysuckle's blooming right now, and it smells amazing outside. So over here, we have sunflower growing really fast. I harvested and pulled all of the cauliflower that overwintered, and we were able to get enough for one little meal off of it. So they stayed real small. I'm gonna do a little bit better job fertilizing them and spacing them next year or this winter. That way maybe we'll get a little bit bigger heads. My little pepper, bless its little heart, it's hanging on. It's got some pest damage. I need to get out here and treat the gardens. This little pepper is hanging on. That one just, it didn't survive. So peppers don't do good if you plant them out before overnight temperatures are consistently in the 50s. And I planted these out after what I thought our average, or not our average, but I planted them out after our average last frost day, and then we had a little bit of a late frost, and I covered them up, and that one survived. That one looked like it was going to die, but it rebounded. But that one I lost. So just a tip about planting out peppers: wait until you know the forecast is going to stay overnight above the 50s, because cooler temperatures will stunt their growth. That's why these guys aren't growing as fast as everything else. Moving along to my cabbage. I can't remember. Is this cabbage or cauliflower? I think this is cabbage. I think this is the same cabbage that is right there. I am pretty sure it is, so that's what I'm going to say it is. I had a brain burp, so I'll have to go back and watch a video. I told y'all, write it down, because you'll forget. Sunflower growing super fast. And I planted out some seeds before our rain shower came the other day, and I noticed the seeds were poking up out of the ground. You can see that one right there. Those are Armenian yard-long cucumbers. Never grown them before. I'm excited to try them, so I will keep you posted. I'm gonna have them growing up this trellis right here, going to the other side. So I'm excited to give those a try this year. I have some, what do I have over here? I have some dill, basil. I have a dahlia over here that I started from seed. I have some chamomile right here in the corner, and then some regular, like your purple straight cucumbers. I have 2 of those on this side to grow up the trellis from this side. I have some pickling cucumbers right here, as well as some chamomile. I want to do better about planting flowers into the garden this year and interplanting, so hopefully they'll deter some pests naturally, but also bring a little pop of color to the garden. And chamomile is beautiful because it does have that little bit of a pest deterrent property with it, but you can also harvest the flowers and dry them for tea. So I want to do that. My onions, their second year. You saw this in the last video, growing their little flowers up right here. I'll let those flower out and then harvest the seed and use that seed this winter. I've never used my own onion seed before, so I will keep you updated on progress for that, because I know onion seeds can be kind of iffy. This is my sharp-headed purple cabbage, growing lovely. Hopefully I'll be able to get a good harvest out of it before it bolts, which the temperatures over the next week are supposed to stay on the cooler side, so I'm happy about that. I have, you'll see, like calendula and zinnias planted intermittently throughout here, and marigolds. Like I said, I'm trying to get them all planted all throughout my garden. Calendula is closing up for the evening, so I'm going to come out here and harvest the calendula flowers off of these plants in the morning and save them, because you can use these to make body care products. And I have used a calendula salve on my eczema, and it has worked better than anything else I have used before, so I want to make my own this year. So I have a lot of calendula planted in the garden. Plus, it's a beautiful little flower. moving along. Once again, flowers, marigold starting to bloom out. She's so pretty. I have jalapeno peppers here. You saw me plant these in the last video. They're doing really well. For about a week, I pinched off flower buds. Now I am letting them grow. So we will have some peppers before too much longer. More flowers. I haven't amended the rest of the bed. I don't have anything planted on these panels just yet. Once I harvest that, I'll plant the rest of this bed out. Over here, I have some more pickling cucumbers. I like pickling cucumbers over your Burple straight cucumbers. I like the smaller cucumbers. To me, they have a better flavor. Once again, chamomile planted, and then 2 cucumbers that I direct seeded before the rainstorm the other day, popping up, doing really well. Another lovely marigold and weeds that I need to pull. Still haven't eradicated the fire ants from over here. Got to get on that. Not gonna mess with this end of the bed anymore because that is where the fire ants are and I don't do well with them. But I can't remember if that's calendula or zinnia. I can't remember, but it's a flower. Here I have jalapenos planted. I have Mama Rosa peppers, shishito peppers, and pepperoncinis planted here. I actually have some little peppers growing. I'm trying to be careful so I don't get too close and make the ants mad. Where are you? There you go. So we have a few little peppers starting to grow. Have some cauliflower on the end over there. And then here, there's a big difference in this bed. I pulled most of the lettuce. It has bolted, which we have been eating off of the lettuce in this bed. This whole bed was lettuce. We've been eating off the lettuce all winter long. So that was really nice to have super fresh lettuce all winter long. So I pulled it because it was finally bolting, harvested the last few leaves off of it. And what I'm going to do, because this part of the garden really only gets sunshine in like the late afternoon hours, and it gets like partial sun to partial shade like the rest of the day, I'm going to plant out some more lettuce back here to grow for the summertime. And I'm going to plant a heat resistant variety, and I can't remember the name of it off the top of my head, but I will share that with you when I get it planted. You saw me plant out these radish in my video about total brain burp again. It's been a long day. You saw me plant out these radish in the video about gardening in 30 minutes. They are doing really well. Actually have a few I noticed a while ago that were forming. If I can get it to focus, you see it right down there. I have a cucumber planted out right here amongst my sugar peas. Sugar peas are doing really well. I have already harvested these today. More little radish growing. Flowers. I love sugar pea blossoms. They're so pretty to me, the little bonnets. I pulled my bok choy. It bolted before I could harvest it. I was a little disappointed. Some more flowers. Marigold. I can't remember if I put a calendula or zinnia there. I need to do better. You can tell where I pulled up the lettuce, and this is where I have been harvesting. Got more sugar peas underneath the radish. And yes, radish do get bigger than that. I just don't ever let it grow that big because I love radish and I harvest it really early. My artichoke, bless its little heart. I need to get this guy back out in the ground. Maybe I can save it. If not, I have some more started up front. And then my carrots. I've had several carrots start to go to seed. But that is what a carrot looks like when it flowers out. It's so pretty to me. But several of my carrots have gone to seed. However, I am out here harvesting, and it was pulling these carrots. I was like, ooh, I would love to share this on YouTube. And I was pulling all these carrots, and that's what kind of jarred my memory of, hey, why don't you go grab your camera, lady? So here we are. But carrot flowers. those have gone to seed. I want to try to harvest seed. Carrot seeds are so tiny, but I'm going to try to harvest the seed of these carrots. These are close to being ready. I'm going to try. I don't know if I'll be successful, but you won't know unless you try, right? A little bit younger carrots right here. I'm going to let those grow a little bit longer. Once again, this whole panel right here, fence panel, is going to be sugar peas. And then once they finish producing or it gets too hot for them, I'm going to plant pole beans up there. I have some more baby radish growing. This is where I harvested radish from earlier. Still have some smaller ones. Hey, look. And if you're wondering when to harvest radish, sometimes the size of the leaves can be an indicator, but not always. So what I do, I just kind of brush the dirt around very gently, and if I see a nice size little globe, I'll pull it. So like here, these are really small, and I'll just brush away the dirt real gentle. Yeah, I'll eat that one. Like I said, I don't let them grow very big because I'm so excited to have them. See, brushing around the dirt. There we go. Do this one, get where you can see it. See, that one's not ready. That one still looks like a stick, so cover it back up. Carry these delicious looking radish to my bowl and drop it in. And we'll finish our garden tour. This bed, I've already showed you, but this is where all my broccoli was during the winter time. I've pulled all of it now. I was able to harvest some seed out of it. So I'm not sure what I'm gonna fill this bed with or finish filling this bed with, but it'll be something. And then this bed I haven't done much with. I showed it to you already where the cauliflower was at. Down here past the radish that I just pulled, we have the carrots that I planted late winter, and I just carelessly plant my carrots, and it's frustrating because I do my carrots. Like the first time I planted carrots, I planted them like you were supposed to, and nothing would grow. I tried several different methods. I couldn't get them to grow, so I got upset one day, and I just came out here and I just tossed my carrot seeds in the garden and watered them in, and we have carrots. So that's what I did with this bed, and I just threw my carrot seeds in here and I watered them in, and I watered them for several days after planting them because carrot seeds really like a lot of water when it germinates. And as you can see, we have carrots growing. So it'll still be a few more weeks before those are ready to harvest, but I'm excited to have a continuous supply of carrots. And here we have a guardian angel and my Gerber daisy is finally putting out a flower. So that Gerber daisy overwintered. It died back, and now it's grown back and is putting out a flower. But that is just a quick little garden tour and update. The pallets and stuff, those I need to amend the soil, and I'll get some stuff planted in these. And then here, my green onions are doing really well. I have daisies growing back here. And then over here, this was where my sugar pea hut was over here. You can see it sustained some wind damage, and then we needed to move it to mow grass. So I'm gonna get it put back together and get my sugar peas growing back up it again. Some more cabbage growing. This is where my mustard greens were, but obviously they have bolted, as you can see, putting out seed pods. So I'll save seeds from it, and then I will pull those, get this amended, and get something else planted there. And for here, for the backyard at least, this was our old compost bin that my husband took down, and you can see all the scraps of food, the pine straw, the grass, everything that we threw in here has turned into some beautiful dirt, but also a potato that was thrown into the compost bin has started to grow. So we're just going to leave it here, let it grow, harvest the potatoes off of it, and then when they're ready to go, and then we'll take the dirt down and put it into our garden to grow. Take you to a little update. It's blueberries. So the blueberry bushes that grow along the creek that runs behind our house. There's another one right there. These actually were transplanted as little seedlings from my granddaddy's house. Just some blueberry bushes that just volunteered on their own there. My mom dug them up at my granddaddy's house and brought them to me, and we planted them. And they are doing so much better. They have grown so much faster and produced so much more fruit than the bushes that we bought in the store. I love these. Try to get a picture. Our figs are growing. And then coming back this way, our blackberries have blossomed out. And so hopefully, well, you can see them starting to form here. Trying to keep my shadow out. So we'll have blackberries here soon as well. So down the side of the house, do you see it? Do you see it? We have lots of tomatoes. I don't know how many I have out here right now. But so down the side of our house, this is another way that you can produce a ton of food in a very small space. Our soil does not support tomatoes very well. Our tomatoes don't like the soil here. It's super sandy. So I grow all my tomatoes in 5-gallon nursery pots. I got these, some of these I got off of Amazon, and then I found the Greenhouse Mega Store, and I got a lot more of them for a lot cheaper. So I have filled these with fresh pot and soil. Starting this year, I'll start recycling my pot and soil so we can reduce our overall cost, and I'll just refresh the pot and soil every year. But I have transplanted out the tomatoes that we started in the house, and like I told you with the peppers, for that first week or so, I pinched off the flower blossoms and focused so the plant could focus on growing big strong roots. When I planted my tomatoes, I buried them deep so roots could grow out of the stems, and they are doing so good. These guys, a couple of them are almost halfway up the trellis. Sorry for the interruption. I had to sneeze again. And on this side of our house is where the honeysuckle is blooming at in our neighbor's yard. But it's a good smell. It just makes me sneeze. Anywho, moving on. But as far as growing a lot of food in a small space, you can grow tomatoes in these 5-gallon containers. You can grow them in 5-gallon buckets. Just have some good drainage holes in it, and then have a good way to stake them up. So we drove in some T-posts down the side of the house, and then we attached some chicken wire to it. And you can see right there, we just have some string tying the tomatoes to the chicken wire as they are growing up. And you can see the little yellow specks. There are a ton of blossoms on them. Out here, I have Big Pink, Early Girl, Bella Rosa, Brad's Atomic. I think I have a couple cherry tomatoes, beefsteak. I think I have some Roma. I have a little bit of everything, but I'm excited to have these. This did really well last summer, and I'm excited to have a lot this summer, I hope. You also notice the bottom stems look really bare. A lot of people leave their tomatoes real bushy looking, but because I have these up against the house, and because it gets so hot and humid here during the summer, I actually prune my tomatoes. So I keep the bottom of the stems clean. I keep the lower branches trimmed off so it'll encourage airflow across those tomato plants. But moving right along, over here in these pallets, I have a little watermelon. I have a couple more squash and zucchini planted here. I have a pumpkin planted out. None of my pumpkins are doing good this year. I have several pumpkins planted, and they all just kind of dwindling off. I don't know if it's a pest issue, if it's a fertilizing issue. I just don't know, but it's frustrating. But that's my pumpkin. And then I have some more flowers planted here and chamomile down there. I'm not sure what I want to plant in these two pallets yet, but they'll probably get planted this weekend. Now, our potatoes. The potatoes have been featured in several videos now, and they have gotten huge. The ones in the front are actually putting off flower blossoms now, but just look at that. That is so huge. This one will start putting off flower blossoms soon, and we will actually harvest our potatoes once the vines that are growing, once all that dies back. that's when we will harvest our potatoes. But I'm excited to have fresh potatoes. Like I said, we have a lot growing. There's some in that basket. And then you saw us have some in a container garden. Here are some right here. These are flowering out, as you can see. So that's in a grow pot. That is in a grow pot or a grow bag. And I have some more that I just planted about 3 weeks ago, right here. And they're doing really well. So we're gonna have lots of potatoes. And the cool thing about our potatoes is they grow in such a short amount of time that we'll actually be able to get like a second harvest in. I do have a pest issue on this plant. I need to get addressed pretty quickly. Let's see. Oh, this is my container patio tomato. And we have 2 great big old tomatoes growing, and one is starting to turn. I'm excited. Lavender. I have a couple different peppers right here on these front steps. Another artichoke. This is one of my green stalks. It was full of lettuce and kale, and I've been slowly transitioning it to strawberries, which have done good. We've been harvesting strawberries fairly regularly off of it. Still have plenty of lettuce and aphids. Every time I see a ladybug, I'm like, you go eat those aphids. So everything out here needs some pest treatment. These are Kajari melons that I planted, and they started to die off. So I put them out here, and they're doing better. So I'm going to transfer these to the backyard. But back to the green stalk. I have kale, some more kale and lettuce planted in here that I started from seed. I've put out some more cilantro, chamomile. Got a couple of patio cucumbers growing in here. Lots of strawberries. This is lemon balm, chocolate mint that a friend of mine gave me a cutting of. Peppers. I can't remember what kind of peppers. One of them is cayenne, or one pot is cayenne, and I think the other one's shishito, if memory serves me correct. But they're full of blossoms. They've been out here for a couple weeks now, so I'm going to let them blossom out. Chamomile and basil. I have basil all over the place. And we'll walk over here to this green stalk. Oh, I'll show you this. I have more tomatoes growing up here on the front of the house, and these are the 2 that you saw me trellis in a previous video. They are full of blossoms. You can see how huge they have gotten. I need to prune this one a little bit better. You can see how huge they've gotten. I'll probably do the bamboo stick trellis with these, and then the next round of tomatoes that I plant to go down the front of the house will have the fencing as well. But don't judge my lettuce down there. I haven't ordered it yet. But here is my green stalk. My other one. These are the little, I can't remember if they're Micro Tom or Micro Tim tomatoes that I started from seed, but they are producing. Oh, should I pick it? Should I pick it? I'm gonna pick it. I can't help it. Yeah, I'm gonna eat it. Oh my God. First fresh tomato of the year. Oh, that was so good. Oh man, yay. So the tomatoes are starting to turn. Wow, that was delicious. I have a little pot of flowers, some lettuce and kale right there. And then this green stalk is full of lettuce and kale we've been harvesting off of pretty aggressively. And as some of the lettuce gets to a point where it wants to bolt, I've been replacing it with like cilantro, a couple of flowers, and some more of the patio cucumbers, which now I can't find. There it is. But there that is. We're gonna chat while I am harvesting the rest of these carrots. But as far as the big garden, I have yet to get to it. Not harvesting, but planting the big garden. I'm going to plant out some peppers and some green beans and lots of okra out into the big garden. And my neighbor was so sweet, and he went and he tilled it the other day. It needed it desperately. I had neglected it, keeping it weeded. I'm going to do a better job with it this year. So I'm going to get out there this weekend and get it planted. I feel like we are past danger of frost and stuff now, so I'm going to get it planted out. I'll put some flowers and stuff out there, and I think I'm going to do some watermelon. And I think on the cattle panel that I have tied up to a fence, I'm probably going to plant a loofah out there. So we'll see. I'll be sure to take you guys along with me on that. Well, I am going to be here harvesting my carrots for the next few minutes. I will try to do better about bringing you guys along as I am doing things in the garden each day. I'm getting better, slowly but surely. But I thank you so much for joining me. I hope that if you enjoy what you saw today, if you haven't already, definitely hit that subscribe button. Give me a thumbs up. Accidentally pulled that little guy. And I hope that it will inspire you that no matter where you're at in life, no matter where you live, that you can go out, you can garden, you can definitely have a garden. It doesn't matter where you live. It doesn't take a lot of money, and it really doesn't take a lot of time. Get creative, grow food for you, grow food for your family, and I hope, like I said, I just hope it inspires you to do that. Definitely. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you will come back to see me again. Have yourself a very blessed day.